October 2015. The CIA headquarters in Virginia, John Brennan, received a call from an anonymous number. The caller sounded like a child who told John that he had hacked all of the CIA's systems. This call would have been thought a prank if it had been made to an ordinary person, but John Brennan at that time was the director of the world's most powerful intelligence agency, the CIA. To know their personal mobile number, let alone call them, is a very big deal. This is the story of the two children who hacked all of the CIA's systems and made a superpower like America dance to their tune. Who were those children and why and how did they pull off this feat? In A2 videos, once again welcoming viewers, when the caller is asked for his demand, he says that America should stop attacks in the Middle East, specifically Palestine, and let the world live in peace. Before his phone call, the CIA already found out that their system had been hacked. What damage this hacking was doing to the CIA and to America, you will understand later in the video. As soon as the call ended, the entire American government and the CIA went into action, and because a child had hacked such a big intelligence agency, this was a moment of great shame for the CIA. You should know here that CIA agents consider this a loss only when their identity is disclosed. Even the Starbucks branch inside the CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, serves officers coffee in cups that have no logo and no agent names written on them. The reason is that the cups should not be traceable back to the agents. Now you can imagine how much it would mean to them if their system were hacked, given that the CIA takes such precautions over even small things. The investigation started, and it turned out that the call had been made from Leicester, England, by a 15-year-old boy who called himself Cracka, and he had formed a hacking community called Crackers with Attitude. But to know how he hacked the CIA and why, we need to go a little further back to 2008, where the story begins. In 2008, in the state of Virginia in the United States, there was another boy who went by the name Default, and he was very fond of video games. He began to change game programming to win in video games. He would alter online games such as Counter-Strike to suit himself, and change their rules so he could win easily. In other words, he was making cheats. He started making things run his way. He learned all of this from the internet. Default was inspired by the hacking group Anonymous, which had become quite famous by 2008. The Anonymous group often made headlines at that time by hacking big websites. They would write messages on those websites according to their will. Seeing all this, Default was greatly impressed by Anonymous, and then he too stepped into the world of hacking. Default slowly started hacking small websites, but he wanted to do something big. For that, he needed a hacking group. So Default joined a hacking group named NSA. This group had already hacked many websites, but most of their hacking was done for political purposes. The NSA group used botnets. That means they created and spread viruses on the internet, and any computer infected by that virus would come under NSA's control. The entire network of such computers is called a botnet. Because Default was a member of NSA, he also had access to this botnet. He saw that within this botnet, there was a computer belonging to a medical college in Canada. Default put in some effort on that computer and gained access to the medical college's financial records. He saw that the school was owed more than $9 million by students. All those records were now with Default, and he deleted them from the college's computer. Default's first hacking was successful. Because of this, the medical college's entire system collapsed. That first hack was done as a prank, but the next hack was done in anger. In 2014, the government of Denmark passed a shameful law that allowed sexual abuse of animals. This news angered animal rights activists around the world. Default himself had a dog he loved very much. So Default, in anger, along with his group, hacked Denmark's official website and wrote in big letters that "Did you know your government allows cruelty to animals?" Not only that, Default used the botnet to attack and shut down all the websites that had been created in favor of that law. Because Denmark's official website was hacked, the matter spread, and Denmark's action was condemned around the world. People started abusing Denmark verbally. Eventually, Denmark's government could not bear the pressure, and the next year, they reversed the decision. Default had succeeded in his mission for the first time, but people began to give credit for it to the Anonymous group, because that group was making headlines at the time. Default did not like that someone else was taking credit for such a big feat, but he did not lose courage and continued his work. Like other hackers, Default also did not disclose his identity. He knew that if he were ever traced, the consequences could be terrible. He normally did not use his home Wi-Fi, but had bought a satellite connection. He had installed it far away from his home and used the internet at his house through a private network from there. His computer was also highly secure. In fact, Because of this security, it took 30 minutes just to turn on his computer. But for the sake of his privacy, he had no problem waiting that long. Anyway, so far you have learned about only two characters in this story. One is Cracka from England, and the other is Default, who lived in the USA. Before 2013, they did not know each other, but an incident happened that brought them together. Edward Joseph Snowden was a computer intelligence consultant at the National Security Agency. While working on a project for the American government, he discovered that the CIA secretly stored the data and private information of every internet user and then used it for its own purposes, while the users had no idea about it. Edward wanted to expose this secret of the CIA, but on the other hand, he feared that it could not be done while staying in America. Either he would be killed, or he would be sent to prison for leaking classified information. So Edward took leave and went to Hong Kong. There he revealed this secret of America to the world in front of journalists. As soon as this news was leaked, it caused a huge uproar around the world. People became angry after learning that their data was being used without their permission, and that every movement of theirs was being monitored. In reaction to this, Default and Cracka came into contact with each other. Both decided to teach a lesson to the American government and the CIA. They wanted to make the CIA realize what it feels like when people's personal information is leaked. Cracka and Default had one purpose. Default wanted revenge on the USA for destroying his people's privacy, while Cracka wanted revenge for the attacks on Gaza. In short, both had the same enemy, the American government. First, they made public the phone number of the Director of American National Intelligence, James Clapper, and anyone could find his phone number just by searching online. Now they wanted to hack another high-profile person, so they decided to hack the CIA director, John Brennan. Cracka began searching for information about John on the internet and came across a public phone number that belonged to him. That number was from an American mobile operator called Verizon. Posing as an employee of the same company, he called Verizon's internal tech team and said he was contacting them to solve a customer's problem because there was a technical issue in the system. Verizon's team asked for a PIN code to confirm his identity, which he had already hacked and obtained. After verification, Verizon shared John Brennan's personal details with Cracka. Now, Cracka had John Brennan's account number, backup mobile number, address, and the last 4 digits of his bank card. The next step was to hack Brennan's email. He found that to recover the email account, the system asked for the last 4 digits of the bank card, which Cracka already had. Thus, Cracka immediately gained access to his email address. Now the CIA director's personal email account was in Cracka's hands. He opened John Brennan's private email, which contained all the important and top-secret documents, data of other CIA officers, their social security numbers, and government instructions. By that time, Brennan had realized that his email account had been hacked, and he immediately had it shut down, but it was already too late. Because Cracka had already downloaded all that data, Cracka began publishing those official documents one by one, causing chaos throughout America. The CIA's reputation was being ruined worldwide. Now catching those hackers had become a necessity for them. They wanted to catch them at any cost, and as soon as possible, but they could not find any clue. A few days after calling John Brennan, Cracka leaked on social media the personal information of 9,000 Department of Justice employees and 20,000 FBI agents. After doing all this, Cracka was living his life peacefully. He believed that catching him was impossible, but on the other hand, Default, who was a resident of the USA, started to feel uneasy. He feared that if he were caught, his end would be near. They might never have been caught if Default hadn't made a mistake. While drunk, he told his friend that he was the one behind the CIA hack. That one mistake ruined both Default and Cracka. A few days later, the FBI raided Default's room and dragged him away. During interrogation, Cracka's name also came up, and with the help of the British police, he too was arrested. Cracka's real name is Kane Gamble, while Default's name is Justin Gray Lieberman. Because of his young age, Cracka was sentenced to 2 years in prison, while Default, who was not directly involved in the CIA hacking, was sentenced to 5 years. Today, both are free and building their careers in cybersecurity. What do you think? Were they right or wrong? Tell me in the comments. I hope you will also like and share this A2 video wholeheartedly. Thank you very much for your kind comments. See you in the next amazing video.